It's basically girl summer. Isn't it fun? And what I mean by girl summer, you have Speak Now, Taylor's version. We got Barbie. We got the Aristotle Plus friendship bracelets. We got the resurgence of pink. We got the girl dinner trend. Girls, we are winning this summer. And why is that important? Well, if when you were little, you had demonized pink, say I. Even though I'm sitting on pink right now and there is pink behind me. I mean, when I was little, I was like, oh my god, this is so lame. So why is girl summer so important? Girl summer to me is, this reclaiming of childhood. And how on TikTok, every 5 videos there is this thing that goes like, oh, this is for my inner child, this is to heal my inner child, and I saw this one fantastic video on TikTok that was, I unfortunately not save it, but there are many like this. I just happened to see one that was, one woman seeing Barbie, and when she was crying, it was a little girl watching Barbie. So, girl summer to me is about reclaiming pink. And not that you have to like pink, I mean, it is very valid if you do not like the color. I mean, is there some color I don't like? Like, oh, I have beef with grey, which is very ironic since I'm wearing a grey shirt. But generally, I have beef with grey clothes. Because they stain very easily and they look very dirty when they are stained. Not like this, charcoal dark grey, but like, light grey. I have shirts like this. Where can I leave this honestly? Like, about the sort of grey. And then I have some bit of it. I mean, you don't have to wear pink if you don't want it, but walking downtown and seeing a bunch of people wearing pink and knowing that this is why they just came off the Barbie movie probably. But I have many friends. Well, I have one friend. Not that I have one friend singular. I have like friends, but like I'm talking about one friend. So this friend told me that she realized that she no longer owns pink clothes and she wanted to be with Barbie. And she was like, oh, what am I going to wear? Because all of my pink clothes are like in some, I don't know, like the Nation Palace somewhere. I haven't worn pink since I was like 10. So we went together and she got a pink shirt. And she was like so happy. She was like, why did I stop wearing pink? It's a valid question. Why have we all stopped wearing pink? I had stopped in middle school when I had a pick-me phase, which was not my proudest moment, honestly. But I mean, like, I do believe that most women have had a pick-me phase. And I first mentioned Speak Now, Taylor's version, and I've read like mastery schools about it online, and how Speak Now, Taylor's version is different from Speak Now, Stolen, and it is the way that her voice no longer quivers. She's very comfortable in what she's singing and how she's singing it. And I had some thoughts about that. Of course, like, stream Taylor's version, don't stream the Stolen, like, unless you have it on CD or something. But this was a grown woman looking back at her childhood, basically, and reclaiming it, and her voice is not trembling anymore because she can look at it dead on the eye. This is a very chatty video, I'm just like talking to you. I didn't even make like, a plan, just sat here because my makeup was done and I had daylight and I need to talk about this. So I'm just talking. If it doesn't make sense, I won't upload it, but if you're watching it, it means that you have to trust the process, okay? So, I had a talk with my mom some days ago, and it was like, well, I know that being a little girl is hard still, but it's getting easier and easier because there is this conscious effort by all the women and all the girls, to hold little girls' hands. And this does remind me of Little Me song by Little Mix, back in, I don't know when it was, like 2010 something. And the question is, why girl summer, why girl dinner, that TikTok trend? Some people say that it has to do with self-induced infantilization. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I am Greek, I am very sorry. But I think it has to do, with reclaiming girlhood, because do you remember Susan from the Chronicles of Narnia? And you really have to trust the process here. There is this quote that when she was a girl, she wanted to be a young woman, and when she was a young woman, she wanted to always stay that age. And when she turned into a woman, she wanted to turn time back and be like, a young woman again. And, you never get to enjoy being a girl because you're always like, oh, I'm gonna be a woman or a young woman or anything someday. So, when is your girlhood? There is one point that you're playing with Barbie dolls and then you fix your hair to go to a party, you're like, oh, when did they lose the in-between time of that? What happened? So, getting to claim this lost time as a young woman, I think it's very important. To me, it's very important. And having this summer that you get to look back at all of it is very important to me, personally. Because summer to me is, at its core, a very challenging time, because all of me's exist in the same time. And I was talking about it with my brother a month ago because we went on a road trip. And I have my road trip clothes that I always wear when we go on road trips because they are so comfortable, honestly. And I've been wearing the same road trip clothes for 3 years now, I think. So it's this green shirt and those blue shorts. I don't like them, how they look, but they are honestly very comfortable. So, if I'm gonna be stuck in a car for 6 hours, I'm gonna wear those. And I braided my hair because it was going to be hot, but I wanted to, be able to lean back so I couldn't put them up in the ponytail. And that claw clip thing, never put a claw clip in the car, so, it was braids. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, I look just like that a year ago, and I looked like that 2 years ago, and I am still looking like this. All of these versions of myself have compressed themselves in the mirror and I am staring at them. Because sometimes, summer when you're stuck inside the house all day and it is very warm outside and, you wear the same dress you've been wearing since you were 15 because it is loose and it is breezy and it is comfortable, and you know, you're a girl and you're a young woman and you're a woman and you're a child and you're everything in between, and you can see that on your clothes. You know, I have a cupboard with all of those clothes that I was very young that do not fit me anymore because I wore them when I was like 5, and they still take space in my closet, but I cannot throw them away. You know, they are my path. And, you know, girlhood really has to do with clothing. It is that dress that your mother insists that you wear because you have to look your best. It is the first time that you have to wear a shirt in the summer, even though your brother doesn't. It is the first time you have to wear a swimsuit top at the beach. It is when you renounce all dresses. It is when you embrace them again, because it is very cold outside and the only thing that you feel comfortable with is practically nothing, and only dress can give you that. It is conforming and not conforming at the same time, because wearing dresses is you fulfilling your role as a girl and also saying screw you to all of those who want you to be not like the other girls. Girlhood is found in closets, and not in the, you know, closeted way, but in the actual clothes way. Girlhood is found in closets is a very interesting sentence that I actually really like. So yeah, girlhood is found in closets. Girlhood is found in clothes that are now too small to fit. Girlhood is in the first pink dress you bought. Girlhood is realizing you no longer wear pink dresses, and girlhood is wondering why is that. So you'll buy a pink dress if that's your thing. I have been talking for a significant amount of time, I think. I always suck at calculating the time spoken, but yeah. Enjoy your girl summer, have some girl dinner, listen to Speak Now, Tell Us Version. I think my favorite song was Foolish One. She was kind of talking to me. And yeah. I will see you soon. Bye.